But I always tell these women that I got pregnant that I do not want to be a father.
I said before, mandatory vasectomies would have been solved a situation like this. Once the first pregnancy happens, you'd be like, whoa, I'm not licensed to nut. Make it mandatory. Do it to all babies. His body, his choice. Whenever he wants, he can get the shit reversed. So you are now a free nutting citizen. So you have responsibility for the babies that you create. And if you don't want to create no babies, cool. Stay cut.
You sounded crazy to me when you first said it. Like, that dead ass did sound like a super villain origin story. Like,
yeah.
Because like
they said it was eugenics. They said it was eugenics.
They said it was eugenics.
But now, look upon my works. Look upon my works and rejoice.
Look at what we have accomplished.
Are you not grateful? Sound the sirens. Fucking jets fly overhead.
All you hear is, over gold, over gold.
It's a red flag.
Like with the cancellation stuff, I'm with you. Some of the shit goes too far. People are often too quick to not take in nuance. Sometimes people are like, but also I feel like there's more space to consume people not liking your shit than there was in the past. You post on TikTok and everybody sees it, including motherfuckers who don't like the content, and they respond, which is engagement. So there's a whole bunch of just hate mixed in it, which is fine, because it's like, you don't have to post on social media if you don't want to. And maybe that's me making excuses for people, but I'm kind of like, people disagreeing with you is part of existing in the public conversation and landscape.
Absolutely.
And again, I'm not saying that's everything. Like, I'm not gaslighting you. The cancellation shit, the call out culture shit is real, and oftentimes it'd be dumb as hell. I agree. Yeah. But some of it is more reasonable.
Everybody is not going to agree with you. Everything ain't for everybody. But it's just when it comes to, I want to hurt you or harm you from like the other side of the state, and I don't know you personally, but I want to actually like take time out of my day and try to find anything on you that could be taken out of context.
Try and get you fired from your job and all that shit on top of it.
Or like some, like, oh my God, like he said this when he was like 12 years old. And he's 33 now.
When he was 12, he said, all girls have cooties? Nigga, what the fuck?
All girls have
What you mean by that?
How dare you?
You hate women? This motherfucker's a misogynist.
Oh my God.
What the fuck?
How on earth could you just...
It's a prepubescent misogynist.
I cannot fucking believe this nonsense.
Wow, the misinformation.
It's the patriarchy for me.
Cooties is actually a very serious condition.
If you actually did your fucking research, you misogynistic, male chauvinistic pig.
Patriarchal.
You would know that 98% of cooties are actually transmitted to women from men.
And also, as a matter of fact, I think you mean to say people with vaginas. People with vaginas, some have cooties, all aren't women. 12 years old is old enough to know better. Do better.
Do better, bitch.
Here's his address, here's his job. Cancel him.
Cancel him.
He's done.
Get him out of here.
Done. Welcome everybody to Waving the Red Flag, the #1 dating and cancellation podcast in the universe. It's your boy Eddie. It's Josh. And what we want to talk about?
Oh no, we gotta let them know where Alvin is.
Oh, that's true. Yo. Alvin tweeted some shit where I was like, yo, we don't even need to fucking joke about where the fuck you're at anymore, because the tweet was so super villain Lex Luthor. This nigga somebody tweeted, how long would you like to live? Alvin replied, given current technological developments, I don't think it's unrealistic that I should be able to survive to 293 to 305 years of age, which is what I'm aiming for. And I was like, this motherfucker want to be Lex Luthor so fucking bad. Who says that? Who responds to that? Zero irony. There was no irony.
That's crazy. Like, please. Okay, wait a minute.
There was no joke.
Wait a minute. I don't use Twitter. God damn. Oh my God.
I'll throw it up if he hasn't taken it down yet.
That's hilarious.
This motherfucker want to be Peter Whalen so fucking bad.
Nah, that's my nigga Alvin took it back to biblical times when they was living like 600 plus years.
Oh, true. If Alvin was experimenting in his laboratory to figure out how to live to 500 years old, I would be like, yep, no, that sounds right. That sounds correct. That is the most logical thing to do.
Okay, so Alvin is out somewhere trying to figure out how to live 209 to 330 years. Is that fair to say?
That's what he's up to. Yeah.
All right,
He's actually backpacking on his way to the Lazarus pit. So, but he'll be back next week.
I love it.
Let's see what we got. You know what? I did the financial. Oh, okay.
No, what's up?
I was just gonna say I did the financial abortion discussion with Alvin, and it came up again on this other different post. And now I'm curious to do that conversation with you.
You about to hear a whole other guy there, and this is not what I'm trying to say.
I'm not saying. Look, all I'm saying is, what did she do? Oh, fucking Jesus Christ, Josh! Fuck. Give us a sec. God damn it.
Like, oh God.
Can you at least say it slowly enough so we can cut this part out of the podcast? God damn. Can you pause in between?
What did she do? Did she
both
give
sides
up
of the
the
story.
draws or didn't she?
All lives matter. What's so difficult about that?
Right. It's not his fault if his semen made it to your ovary.
He didn't put it there. Oh, my God.
His sperm didn't land on your egg. Your egg landed on his sperm, sister.
Yeah, with the Malcolm X. He didn't nut on your face. Your face landed on his nut.
Nuts.
By any means necessary. By any nuts necessary.
And there goes 35 listeners. There goes 35
Yeah,
subscribers
done.
right there. Thank God. Thank God.
What is this?
Oh my
I came
God.
from listening to Fantastic Mr. Fox and FD Signifier. These niggas are talking about nutting on
Christian A.
people's
Smith
faces.
that just gave
Yeah,
a
to
wonderful
Christian A.
sermon
Smith.
last week to this shit.
And it's Beavis and Butthead. The Patreon was even wilder, man. We was talking about, we was rewriting Chris Brown songs like he was a baby who needed his diaper changed. Oh, fuck. Okay, so the post is this dude is basically saying, have you seen the post? Dude with like the blue, what you call it?
Yeah. You talking about the post where it was like a guy who had 7 kids and 7 baby mamas?
Yes.
That one? Yes.
But I always tell these women that I got pregnant that I do not want to be a father, and I offer to pay for the abortion. Majority of times they'll either take the abortion or they'll take a plan B. But only these 7 have kept these children. But the crazy thing about it is they want me to be responsible for some children I told them I did not want. So don't expect me to be responsible financially, emotional, spiritually, mentally, or physically with some kids I do not want. Yeah, we both made the decision to lay down and have intercourse. We both was irresponsible. Yeah, I could have pulled out, but I didn't. And I ain't care to pull out. I'm not the one that gonna have to carry a baby for 9 months. It's the woman. These just jump offs. These the type of women that I ain't even had to do nothing for. The bare minimum, but they gave me access to their body and they think I want to be a father to a child for one of them? I don't even have no type of love for these women. How do they expect me to love these children?
And he was basically saying like, I offer to pay for the abortion. If they keep the baby, that's on them. And he has 7 different women pregnant currently. Mm-hmm. And he's like fairly young. He's like 25, 26 or something like that, which is crazy.
Wow.
I don't even think my nut is that like potent enough to get that many people pregnant. But I guess if you,
Off the rip.
I don't know. Yeah.
Because don't they say like don't they say like it's hard to get a woman pregnant? Which
they only can get pregnant on a full moon. I think I read somewhere.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that's
Oh my
only
God,
like
we are gonna kill that Instagram show.
Can you reassemble the female reproductive system in 30 seconds? And go.
What is that?
no, that doesn't go down.
Yes, this is where the baby comes out. Still don't know what this is though. I don't know what any of these parts are at all.
Oh, okay. And are you registered to vote?
Yes, I am.
Well, we got this in the bag.
We're gonna fucking kill
Yep.
it.
Lunar.
Okay.
That's why they call women lunatics, because they only ovulate during the full moon.
Yes, absolutely.
Exactly.
Okay,
Where
but
woman?
yeah, so okay, women can only get pregnant once on the lunar cycle,
The lunar eclipse or something like that.
the lunar eclipse. Yeah. When the tide
It's
is
a full
in,
moon, or it's
the babies are
the
flowing.
wane moon, or it's the autumn. One of those type of. It's a red
Yeah,
moon. That's what the
it's,
period is.
It's the harvest moon.
The harvest.
It's the harvest
yep,
moon.
You
They
can
can
only
only get
harvest
pregnant
when
on the harvest moon.
during the harvest moon.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, okay, gotcha. That makes sense. No.
Full circle.
They give birth on the harvest moon, and then But when can they receive? Like, when can they fertilize? We got to fertilize the ground.
That's the waxing moon. No, it's it's when the moon is waxing,
The
because that's why
wane.
they get the Brazilian wax to prepare for the dick appointment.
So
That's
it's
why they
not the
call
wane,
it the
but the
waxing
wax.
moon. It's not the waning.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the waning moon is. I don't know what that is. I don't know
Gotcha,
what
me
that's
either.
about.
But the
Yeah.
waxing moon, that makes sense.
Yes.
Vaginas wax pretty,
Wax
insemination,
on, wax
fertilization.
in.
That's when the ground and the soul is
Fecundity.
tilled and cultivated. Yes.
what you
Okay.
sow.
We love you. We love you, women.
Farmer's
Okay.
Almanac.
Gotcha. Let's proceed.
So, since they can only get, I think it's relatively hard to do that. So, but also women are hornier when they're ovulating.
that's true. Oh my God. Yes, that is very true.
So the more like this nigga said it like he could smell it. Like, oh bitch, you
I
ovulating.
can feel it. I can feel it.
Oh, okay, got you.
Yo,
I think I can feel the egg.
bro. It's like, yo, like, okay, so fun fact.
Oh God. You should have
There
just
was
said
this
not
one-
fact before whatever you
I mean, it's my life. This is my own lived experience. So, you know,
Okay,
I don't give a fuck
personal
what
accounts.
anyone thinks. I was hanging out with somebody and we was talking about, like, you know, sex stuff and whatever. And, like, you know, we was flirting back and forth talking about sex. And, like, you know, of course, it was going somewhere. And come to find out, she was ovulating. And, like, that came up. And she was like, yeah, like, feel it. And, like, you know, I put my hand down there.
put the pussy on
And
the
my
table.
God, when I put my shit up, it was just like mucus. And like, and that shit just sprayed on him. And she was like, yeah, apparently when you ovulate and it's like that and it's like extra, it's so wet, it's because
And y'all are
like,
just
it
having a
makes the sperm
conversation about
stick.
this. Okay.
Yeah, and it's
Imagine
like,
her,
it helps you
with
get
like
pregnant.
a drawing board, like with a little extendo thing, like at the whiteboard, while
Yeah,
you'd
yeah,
have
yeah,
like
like the
an
sperm
umbilical
is just
cord
like,
of
yeah,
mucus going to her
Yeah,
vagina.
yeah,
Like,
exactly,
oh, thanks,
yeah.
teach.
Yeah, thanks,
That's
teacher. Oh my
crazy.
God, like, yeah, I learned something. Like that's
It was like
how
a Pizza
men
Hut pizza
actually-
commercial. Like it was like that, like a Goofy movie pizza, like where it was
Yeah.
just.
Yeah, but
Pulled up the
real
pizza
shit, that's
slice.
also one real life way in one of the real life ways in which men learn about women's anatomy and just learn about how women operate or how women work, or, you know, is actually
fucking-
through real life experience with other women whom educate you.
No, that's true.
But, you know,
That's true.
sometimes they don't know shit either. So, you just might be walking around with fake news in your head,
Oh, that's a
spreading
fact.
false knowledge.
Women don't know what's going. Like not women don't know what's going on, because men know it worse, way worse. I agree,
Yeah.
but women don't either. Like in general, people don't know biology in general.
Yo, for real. And like, okay, so another little tangent, and we can get back on it. But when Lauren Lionel was on, and we was talking about like squirt, and there was so many women in the comments that was pissed off, like that was upset about saying that we didn't know shit about women's anatomy when they didn't know shit about women's anatomy, because like it was so many women like saying different shit about what squirt was and what squirt came from.
can't all be
and they was
right.
talking shit about us. I'm like, yo, like, y'all don't even know what the fuck this is. What do you mean?
Science is not cleared it up. Yeah, and I mean, and that goes back to like conversations we have had about like gender and shit like that, where it's like it's bigger than just individuals. It's not like some MCU like supervillains and superheroes of like women know all the correct things and never do anything bad, and men do all. But it's like the system of education that like robs men of understanding women's bodies also robs women of understanding their own bodies. Like women are also not taught that female pleasure should be centralized, about how reproduction works or doesn't work. They're taught in the same dumbass schools as us. So
Absolutely.
obviously they've got a physical incentive to actually know what the fuck is going on, but there's still like a huge institution that keeps them, distance from like knowledge about their own bodies as well, which, I don't
absolutely.
know, that probably sounds like some mansplaining shit, but tell me I'm wrong. So I don't know.
I mean, hey, like, it made sense to me, and I,
Yeah.
so
So it must be right. Two niggas figured it out.
It must be,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
How
But,
about
like,
that?
No, that was safe. That was safe. Like, our educational system is trash.
Yeah.
And
It is.
based off the facts of that response between a
And
lot
there's
of
so
those
much
women in the
shame.
comments.
Yeah. But it's getting
a lot
better
of
though.
them don't know.
Women
Yeah.
definitely know more about what's going on. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? Between sex toys, I mean, and I don't even mean just than men. I mean like than they used to. Because I feel like if you took a girl from like the '80s, I don't think a girl from the '80s knew what a clit was. I don't think they knew what was going on. I really don't. I really don't
Really?
think they knew
You
what
being
was going on.
serious?
I think if you picked a girl at random from 1982 and asked her to point out where the clitoris was on a picture of the front of a Volvo, what you call it? Just the
Oh
outside
my God.
vagina.
This is not shaping up well, buddy. No, see, you're taking away from my credibility with the Roe versus Wade street show.
It's a Volvo. Everybody knows that BMW.
It's a Volvo. Yeah, it's a car.
Yeah, baby mama's winning. She got the Volvo. Yeah.
Yeah, instead of the front. Yeah. Okay.
Gosh, exactly. Everybody knows that. Push from the back.
Oh my
That's
gosh. Okay.
what it means.
Okay.
But no, I think if you took a woman from 1982 and showed her a diagram of a woman's reproductive system and said, hey, or outer reproductive system and said, hey, where's the clitoris? Can you point this out? They're not gonna know. I would say you would have a 40% chance of getting one that says yeah. I think 60%. Yeah, 60% of women in 1982 could not pick out a clitoris on woman's diagram. Yep.
Yeah, I do not feel comfortable at all agreeing with that.
What about 1975?
1920.
1920, 100% of them didn't know.
Yeah. See, that's where
nobody
I
knew
feel
about that.
That's
As a matter of fact, I don't think the clitoris was even discovered like by science until like 1890 or so. Like, let me look up. No, like, hold on. Like Christopher Columbus or somebody discovered that shit in like 18. Hold on. This is a real fact.
Yo.
Let me see.
When was the clitoris discovered? It's crazy.
Yeah. Rialdo Colombo. Okay, no, 1559. That's still mad late though. That's still mad late. Cause we knew about the dick since day one. But yeah, Colombo, I guess between solving mysteries or whatever he was.
Okay, so you can't compare the dick in the entirety of a penis to one part of a vagina. You know
I
what
mean,
I'm
the
saying?
way they was drawing those Greek dicks, it wasn't too far off. I think it's fair to compare. Come on,
so
if you can see that, you can see a clitoris. It ain't too different.
No, you can't. You really can't. You really can't.
I feel like I've looked many a clitoris directly in the eye. You can see really a clitoris, bro.
No, you can't.
What you mean?
No, you can't. You got to peel the layers back. See that thing like front and center.
To be fair, I've not seen a lot of
like
vaginas like straight on without also interacting with it. So I haven't seen like a lot of vaginas just look at me with their eyes closed, just straight on.
Yeah, it's not like some vaginas literally look like lips. Like you gotta open that thing up. You know what I mean?
Speak no evil. They just
exactly. But
I'm not telling you.
No, that sounds forced. But okay.
Yeah. Oh Jesus! Yep. That's took it to a dark place. Jesus
I know,
Christ. Okay, let's do, since we've done just a bunch of misinformation and stupidness, let's do a different topic and circle back around to that one.
Well,
yeah?
well, actually, okay. No. Let's just go ahead and just finish this one.
Okay.
And then because I would like to discuss the DINKs, which is a perfect lead into that.
Okay.
From this one.
Okay, got you. Yeah. So he in this video, he basically just says like, I'm not responsible for a baby that I expressed to you I don't want to have, and that you decided to have after having that information. And the thing is, in the video, he goes off into a weird place where it's like he starts slut shaming. He starts talking about, you shouldn't have given me access to your body. So why did you think I would respect you or want to like have a life with you? And he also was like, I'm not wearing condoms. I don't want to do that. And it seems very much like his perspective is that it seems like he's probably like maybe coercing women with like into having unprotected sex, and he's maybe not having the conversation about the baby until, after. He's not, date one going, hey, I don't have unprotected sex. I'm not paying, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
It seems like it's happening, amongst all the chaos. And on top of the slut shaming, I'm like, he's out of his mind. But the first 60 seconds of the video, I largely agree with him. And as a matter of fact, the person and we're going to have her on later, we were talking about this, and a lot of women, I think, actually are quite in agreement with the initial 60-second bit, which is just like, if one person says, I don't want to have this child, I'm not interested in doing that, you now have freedom to choose whatever you want to do in that moment, at least morally, not necessarily legally, obviously, but morally, you're then responsible for the consequences of that decision by yourself. If you have access to abortion or other reproductive like rights.
Yeah.
But again, he didn't include that in his thing.
Yeah,
But that's where I fall for the most
I can
part.
tell he absolutely was not the type of person that would have that verbiage to include.
Yeah, I mean,
that
no,
in
but
his
even
spiel.
maybe he doesn't have that
But yeah.
verbiage, but he didn't even bring up that kind of idea in any sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. That's good to know because as far as like, you know, women understanding that stance, like, you know, like there's a good amount of women who would understand like that stance from a man.
A lot, yeah, absolutely.
You know, like that's really good to know because like I feel like at least fuck that. I mean, like, because even just in real life and then like even with the comments that I've seen from like posts like that, I've seen like some women like post things like, if you agree to have unprotected sex, you want a child. Point blank, period, and be dead ass serious. It's like, what the fuck?
Insane take.
Insane. Like, but you see like the number of likes he gets, or like the number of like follow ups. Great point, sis. Like, oh my god, so right. This, like, what the fuck are y'all on? Like, what? But anyway, that nigga is a piece of shit. He's a dirtbag individual.
Yeah, no, seriously, because if you're
Like-
going around like, because you know, by baby mama 3, you know that you're at least, even if you want to talk about like, hey, the women are responsible too, because obviously, you know, baby mama 4 knew about baby mama 3. So sure, does she have some responsibility for bringing into the world a child that she knew she was going to have less resources for because the father wasn't interested? Sure. This motherfucker's, but also shooting a little bit of bail, he does mention that like his baby mamas come from like various different economic backgrounds. So some of them are actually very well off to handle having a kid by themselves. Yeah, he was like some of them are, you know, they work at a gas station. Some of them are, you know, 6-figure, you know, corporate women. So like,
ain't no way.
I mean, he could be lying, but
I missed that part because I thought he said that the women that he laid down with weren't from an affluent background or like or in an affluent situation.
Oh, I might have got confused.
Like it was
that's possible.
Women who, the way that he said it was pretty derogatory, but it sounded like he was saying that these are women who don't respect themselves.
He did say that, but that seemed to be like a slut, like a you're giving me access to your body thing. But anyway, aside from that, like yes, piece of shit. For
you giving a
bunch
nigga like me access to your body with minimal effort. That's essentially that's what he said for sure.
That's what he said, which is crazy. So yeah, I agree that. I mean, look, I said before, mandatory vasectomies would have been solved a situation like this. If he want, because then at that point, then raw sex is consent to having a child. Because nigga, why did you get your vasectomy reversed?
And then you got to go to court and prove that it was a mistake. Like, no, this vasectomy was not reversed. It was, you know, this is a glitch in the matrix.
Right. Oh well, yeah. Okay. Well, I suppose that's a drawback. But
I gotta assume because it's documented if you had your shit reversed. So if you didn't, and you still get somebody pregnant,
right. Yes. But then also it would be that would still solve the problem because it'd be like. It would happen once. Once the first pregnancy happens, you'd be like, "Whoa, I'm not licensed to nut. I need to figure out what's going on right now." Yeah. Exactly. So I'm like, yeah, like make it mandatory. Do it to all babies, and then any man, whenever he wants, you know what I'm saying? His body, his choice. Whenever he wants, he can get the shit reversed. Not a problem. He don't have to file for anything. He just goes, "Hey, look, I want to get it reversed," and there's just a record of that. So you are now a free nutting citizen. So you have responsibility for the babies that you create. And if you don't want to create no babies, cool. Stay cut. You know what I mean? And obviously scientifically it's completely unfeasible, but I'm just, it's just a thought experiment.
We got to figure, exactly. But yeah, like if we had like a system like that, then absolutely. You sounded crazy to me when you first said it. Like that dead ass did sound like a super villain origin story. Like, like because like the intention is good.
First they laugh
right?
at you, my nigga. First they laugh at you.
First they laugh, but when you start actually taking over the world and you see this nigga was right.
Damn, this is a better world.
Were you Aaron Yeager this motherfucker like
I guess so. No, it could definitely turn into some Hunger Games like in time, like Maze Runner type dystopian society somehow. But I think the main point is quite accurate.
Yeah, it's yeah.
They said it
because,
was eugenics.
We are
but they said it was eugenics.
They said it. They said it was eugenics.
But now, look upon my works. Look upon my works
Look
and
what I have
rejoice.
done. Look at what we have accomplished.
Are you not grateful? Sound the sirens. Fucking jets fly overhead.
All you hear is over gold, over gold.
Oh shit.
Yo, I was dead ass thinking that shit before the pod. Like, yo, anytime you say something good or do something great, you should just be like horns. Over gold, over gold.
We got to get that man on the podcast. Oh shit.
What was I saying? Yeah, because like if you think about it, like men plant the seed, correct? You know, or the genitalia, the male reproductive genitalia plants the seed.
Sure.
You know, and
usually with
so
the cooperation of the attached male, but yes.
Usually with the cooperation of, God willing. So in that vein, if you resolve the source, if you resolve the problem at the source, then who's complaining. But we just have to have a safe and feasible route to do so. And I already can hear like women saying, well, shit, look, we have all these products for us that's not really safe, but we suck it up and deal with it, which is fucked up. But I can also see like, it's like, well, just because
it's not comparable. Yeah, I think there's a lot of misinformation there. Like regulating men's reproductive cycle is way more scientifically difficult than with women, and the whole like, oh, they did like birth control for men, and the men like pussied out because they like couldn't deal with this. Like this is fake news. This is a myth. This is not what happened. The researchers stopped it because it had negative outcomes that would have stopped a woman's trial as well. This was not like men couldn't deal with it. The men wanted it.
Right.
And if there was a birth control option for men, many, many, many men would take it.
Let me tell you, when I was in high school, or just when I was coming up, period, like from the moment when I could become sexually active, from the moment when I did, and till now, to right now, if I could be on birth control, like it was safe,
I would have.
I would, but I don't have a kid, and that was like a big. That's a big thing. That was always a big thing for me. Like I did not want to get any girl pregnant.
Oof.
And I've had like a few close encounters. You know what I'm saying? But it's like
the third kind. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree, and I think a lot of men are in the same boat and kind of view it the same. I think also like the available options aren't like when you think about the pill. You can't doing that for men is really difficult because women have an actual monthly cycle that can be circumvented through hormones. Men don't have a thing like that. We're constantly fertile, constantly producing sperm daily.
True.
And our hormones are very daily, not like on a monthly pattern. Very difficult to regulate that. I don't even know how you would, but I do know that it would be difficult to do so in the same way that women's is done. But also the physical methods. When you think about like an IUD, a woman could put an IUD, like a copper-based IUD in for like for like years rather, and just let that rock, and her uterus is uninhabitable. There's no option like that for men. If there was one that carried with it similar risks, that motherfucker would be on the market, and people would be buying it.
Yeah, and and if it was on the market, niggas, you're absolutely right. Niggas would be buying it too.
100% get some copper wire stuck up my dick to fucking. I mean, no, I won't gaslight women. I won't gaslight women and act like a lot of men don't view their virility as like part of their masculinity, and a lot of men would be resistant to it or expect that women should do it. There are a lot of men who are out there. There are a lot of like, and speaking of the DINKs conversation, like there are a lot of men who are in a relationship with a woman. Neither of them wants to have kids. He wants her to get a tubal ligation rather than him getting a vasectomy. That does happen. It happens a lot. That nigga is in the wrong. So that's just me making a claim about what's going on.
Yeah.
If you and your wife or your partner don't want to have no kids, and the option is you get a vasectomy or she gets a tubal ligation, get that vasectomy, my boy. You'll be in and out of the office. They give you a lollipop and a handshake. You're fine. Yeah.
The procedure is a lot less on the man's body than it is on the woman's.
Oh yeah, they gotta cut her in half like a chicken to get in there. You can't. It's not.
Yeah, right.
Her shit is all the way up inside, bro. No.
Right. Yeah. I mean, absolutely. I have a lot of friends. I have friends who gotten like a vasectomy, or along the lines of that train of thought of, oh yeah, I would just get the vasectomy versus making her do, or having her do X, Y, and Z. Like, yeah, that's no problem. So fellas, understand the dangers that your women go through on a daily, monthly fucking basis versus what you would have to go through. Please.
So I just saw this lady got her legs chopped off from toxic shock syndrome from a tampon. I don't know if it was a tampon that she had left in or if there was something else going on that caused that. But either way, legs gone.
Damn, that's insane. You know what?
Really?
Toxic shock, from my understanding, and then once again, we're two dudes. We don't have vaginas. We don't know.
Man. I'm an OBGYN. You know what I mean?
Ooh,
I got
you right.
Man,
Ooh,
got
okay,
an OBGYN GED.
But see, you can't claim that shit that readily without your hair. So it doesn't have the same effect.
My degree was in my hair, like Samson.
Exactly.
Damn.
Exactly. But
I do feel dumber with my hair short. I'll say that.
You know what I'm saying? But you still got the reputation. So it's just like building back up to it. It's like the eye of the tiger,
growing it back out. Yeah,
the thrill of the fight.
The last no survivor. Yeah,
exactly. So from my understanding, it seems like toxic shock comes from the monthly cycle when the tampon is like left in there for too long.
Okay, yeah.
Like it's that's from my frame of reference as a dumbass man.
And see what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, please. How is toxic shock
ChatGPT be wrong as hell half the time? Not half the time, but it just be wrong sometimes.
You checking ChatGPT? Well, let me just do a Google search.
Occasionally, it's pretty good, but occasionally it'll say shit that's literally just completely fucking wrong.
Toxic shock is caused by either. Oh shit! Well, they throwing these niggas is throwing Harvard grade words at your boy already. It's caused by Staphylococcus. Yeah, Staphylococcus or Streptococcus bacteria. These bacteria normally live on the skin and on the nose or mouth without causing harm. But if they get deeper into the body, they can release toxins that damage tissue or stop organs working. Well, that's interesting. Okay, so it doesn't sound like tampons are the primary cause. I hear it's rare, but I don't know. See, I tell you, bro. Like when you go to look up some shit, this is just why we speak off the cuff.
Yeah.
Now I really gotta go and read some shit.
Yeah, I'm literally over here. Now we gotta do. Let's scroll down on the Wikipedia article.
Right.
Okay, here we go. So Chat. Okay, yeah.
No, please.
Okay, so ChatGPT says, so while tampons themselves don't directly cause TSS, when a tampon is left in place too long, it can create a moist and warm environment in which bacteria can multiply rapidly, increasing the risk of TSS. That's why it's recommended to change tampons regularly and avoid leaving them in for more than 8 hours. So it's kind of like you forgot to put odor eaters in the shoes. You know what I mean? Like if you leave shoes on too long, socks on too long, you get, fungal infection, that kind of shit. It's Last of Us.
But it also sounds like tampons are the leading cause of toxic shock because that's the most common way that it could possibly happen because it's still rare. But
so yeah, ladies,
once again, not to mansplain,
if you're watching this and you haven't, give it a double check just in case.
Yeah,
want everybody to
I'm
keep
pretty sure, like,
whatever amount of legs they've currently got. Say again.
I'm pretty sure somebody's going to check us on that too.
Yeah. Hop in the comments with the. Oh man, when we said we really just bullshitting this whole episode. Like I feel like we haven't, but
we haven't got to.
We haven't got to a topic yet. Yeah, podcast almost over. But I was just thinking the time that we had FD on and we were talking about Trevor Noah. And I said that he was married to a white woman. Apparently, that's just completely false. Like he's not married.
True at all.
There's no white woman.
But it's not true at all.
The Noah Knights came. They were ready. Like people that don't even watch our content was like, "How dare you? Need to be careful about how you speak on. You need to leave. You need to be careful about how you speak on other people's names when you have a platform like this." I'm like, first of all, we got like 8,000 subscribers, bro. Like, come on, we're not fucking up Trevor's day. And two, like, it's not that serious. It's so not that serious. Somebody said I almost stopped listening to the podcast when you started spreading that misinformation, bro. Come on, man. It's dumb celebrity gossip. We did not. We not talking no facts. Like, come on, man.
Yo, I mean, but you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I mean, hey, I'm all for like putting forth as much reliable information, you know. But of course, like we speaking off the cuff. Everything don't take it that goddamn deep. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't that deep. Like, it's,
Now look, if we're giving advice, which we often do, if we're trying to break down a political topic to come to some conclusions, and it hinges on certain evidence that's incorrect, cool. We were not making no larger point that's undercut by Trevor Noah not having a white wife. Like, this shit don't matter. It's just some bullshit. We just talking.
but see,
come on.
But that just also goes to show you like where a lot of people's minds are at. Because like if it's some like blatantly obvious shit that they know, it's like, what the fuck? I know this isn't real. But if it was some shit about quantum physics and we was just talking like we was Neil deGrasse Tyson, but it was just complete bullshit, you know, like no one would fucking listen, no one would care. Unless somebody actually did know.
Because it'd be some smart people in our shit though to hop in and be like, well, actually, quarks spin to the left and half. And you know, fair enough. If we say some shit that's wrong when we're not joking, you should call us on that.
Yeah,
I think that's fair and useful. So please do. You know, if anything that we said was wrong, I'm sure there was something in there. Fucking drop your credentials and your factuals. One piece of caveat that I did want to say with, even though I'm for like financial relinquishment and all that kind of stuff, I think that I got to shoot a little bit of bail to men and women both, but women specifically, who are like, nah, this is bullshit. Like, you need to take responsibility, because abortion is not always abortion already for day after plan B, blah, blah, blah. Any of that stuff is not always readily available. So acting like it's this just even clear, economically logical decision of like, you know, if you don't want to have the baby, you don't have to have the baby. And it is not necessary. It's not always that binary for all kinds of women, right? Yeah. Women who are not in like city centers, women who are poor, women who are marginalized for whatever reason, or they're just in a state where there's restrictions and shit like that. Cool, I get it. Saying that a man doesn't have to have responsibility for a sex act that you both have when it's only going to impact you because it's hard for you to have control over your reproduction. Cool. I'm not in favor of financial relinquishment where abortion is not readily available. And other contraceptive methods are not readily available. So I'm only speaking in support of that in this very specific context where it's like super duper easy, like you can get a drive-through abortion type of state. Then you should be able to say, hey, look, I don't want to be a father.
And good call out, because I mean, like, my gosh, once again, like this is one of those areas where I see like a lot of nuance. I'm very gray on it. Like I'm not quite sure in which way I lean, because I believe a man who don't take care of his kids, bit of a deadbeat. But I also can understand there's a situation where a man does communicate before even sex happens. So hey, I don't want children. Children is not in my plan right now. And we both consent to lay down with a condom or without contraception. If we both consent to that and the risk of that, and we both consent, like there's liability on both parties. And just like a woman can say, hey, it is my body, it's my choice. I'm going to go through with this baby. I'm going to go through with this child.
Or not.
In this pregnancy.
If you want to have the kid and she's like, I'm not doing that. Yeah,
because like as a man, like you legit, you can't. Like, and I know a lot of red pill niggas use this ideology, but that's truth. A nigga cannot, in a state where abortions are actually available, and a woman can just do that. A dude cannot come between her legally and that right, without violating some law of like kidnap, blah 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 blah.
Sure.
But so there's got to be like some leeway or compromise in the other direction, and I guess that's where like the whole financial abortion things come from, because once again, hey, I'm not consenting to a child, just like you have the right to not consent to having one and bearing one, incubating one, producing one, delivering one. Yeah.
And I've moved away from using the term financial abortion because I think it causes confusion. I think it's a bad name for the concept, because it sort of implies that like men's burden is comparable to birth in some way, and like the moral fabric of the thing is similar to abortion in some way, and it's like, I think that's more confusing than not. So yeah, with the financial relinquishment thing, I would even say like like even if it's not a conversation directly before sex, it's like, I think a big like a context that we're missing almost no sex is for childbearing. Like, I don't think people, like, we realize that until I say, almost none of the time that people are having sex are people thinking about having babies. Almost
Straight up
none
pleasure.
of it. It's straight up pleasure. I would say less than
Stress
one, probably
relief.
less than 1/10% of the time that people are fucking are they at any point on either end of it thinking about attempting to produce a child. Some people are. Like, some people are like couples that get together and go, we're trying for a baby. That's like less than 1%. That's less than 1/10% of people. Nobody's ever talking about kids on a sex podcast and porn. None of that. Come on. Like, let's be serious.
Yeah. And then the couples that like actually, it's like, oh my God, we're gonna try to have a baby. It's like, y'all niggas trying. It ain't just happened. Like, y'all, you mean like you're not trying to stop? Like you're not trying to not have a kid?
Right.
Yeah.
That's like saying I'm trying to not fly right now. Like, I'm trying to stay stuck to the ground. Like, that's just
I'm trying not to walk.
isn't it? Yeah.
Right.
Like,
Like,
what are you doing?
But you know, of course, like everybody's reproductive stuff isn't the same. So I don't want to count y'all out because I know that shit happens.
No,
but
it can be. It's not as easy as.
Yeah,
it's not as easy as when you don't want to have a kid. When you don't want to have a kid, it's very easy to get somebody pregnant. But once you want to, it's very difficult.
Yeah, and that's the crazy thing about it.
It's the power of now. It's the secret. It's what's that book? Yeah, the law of attraction.
Yes.
Yeah.
The law of opposite attraction. Yes, that one.
The law of
By
contraction.
Hicks Esther. Yes. So in that vein, but yeah, once again, just kind of going back to that's like the main topic. But like, oh boy, he's a dirtbag. Like but it's still insane to me, a little weird to me that a lot of these women would lay up with him, and it's not the victim blame, but just why
I think it's two parts
to lay up with him, and then also like knowing if he volunteered this information beforehand, or if you know his track record, why would you proceed to have a baby through this gentleman, through this guy, if you know abortion is available in your state?
Because it's a few different things.
Yeah.
First, we're only hearing this story from him in like 2 different clips.
Facts.
2, women don't get, or people in general, but women in this instance don't get like a dossier of all the fuck shit you've ever said on the internet before the date. Like, you really think he's right before sticking it? He's going, hey, by the way, I don't really respect you for fucking me right now. That's actually low-key crazy. I'm going to nut in you raw. I don't want to wear a condom. And if you get, he's not saying all that right then. Maybe after that, maybe somewhere in a date more, like it's more gently put. But
yeah,
like he's not leading with everything that was in that thing for everyone. And he's probably not saying, and by the way, I've got 6 other baby mamas. I don't think he's laying all of those facts out. Also, it's like, sometimes that's a decent choice. Sometimes, hey, this nigga's gonna get me pregnant and leave me the fuck alone is actually a good bet. Like everybody who's, because now I'm getting, I guess, too critical theory woke with it or whatever, but like the term baby mama is just a very like racist and like low-key misogynistic kind of like a concept of like you're just a parent with a child who's not raising them with a partner.
Out of wedlock.
And it's like out of wedlock
like,
is a crazy concept. Like, it's derogatory.
Yeah,
you're out of wedlock, you're a fast woman, that kind of shit. And it's like,
bro, like,
if you just go, you're a single mother. That's what you know what I mean?
Check this out, bro.
Or
Like,
your
there's this
co-parents.
one fucking there's this one TikTok ad that I hate. And this is black girl, the first thing out of her mouth. So my baby daddy took me to such and such. And that shit tripped me out the first time I saw it. And then I saw it, it's like a sponsored ad.
Yeah.
So it comes up recurrently. And literally the first thing out this black woman's mouth is, my baby daddy took me to X, Y, and Z place. And like, just the framing of that is wild to me.
Can you explain why? Because I think we may have just diverged there. I think I might disagree with you. And I know I sound like I'm flipping, but can you explain why you say what you just said?
Why because literally because of what we was just saying. Like, it sounds a bit derogatory when you put it in that scope of a professionally paid ad that's sponsored. This is an ad. This is a black woman, and we all know baby mama, baby daddy came from like our community.
Yeah,
and
that's
it's
a good
not
point.
been painted in the best light.
That's
and it's
a good
not
point.
something that you should just be that's not something that a term that you can just throw out there and just be like, oh, I'm proud of, like, oh, like, but this is my co-parent. It doesn't carry the same weight or the same respect of this is we're co-parenting. Oh, this is my baby mama, this is my baby daddy.
This is my partner.
It doesn't carry that same weight. And when you hear that as the first thing, yes.
Caveat, because I'm not even gonna say pushback, because I literally made the point and you built it off of it. So I'm just like, caveat is like, I feel like sometimes there's just like nigga terminology that becomes racist because of the respectability politics put on us because of white shit. So I don't, if that was a black ad for black people saying my baby mama did such and such and we have a healthy relationship and I took her to such and such and it was a wonderful time, I just think that's the nigga way of saying this is my co-parent, this is my partner, because maybe we talk differently. And I think that there's a little bit of like, oh no, but you got to say it the white way for it to be a legitimate relationship. You see what I'm saying?
So it's like when I say it's racist,
it's like it's only racist because they look at a single black a person who has decided to be a single black parent. They look down on that as if like you failed and fucked up your life. But if a white woman gets, you know, a sperm donor and has a kid by herself, we just go, yep, cool. That's just, yep. You're a single woman with a child, like, you know.
As a nigga born from niggerdom. Well, not let me do my mama like that, but as a nigga, as a
she
gentleman
did not have her shit together. She
from the black culture, as a gentleman born from the black culture, like that shit was produced by white people. Like that shit was paid by white dollars. That has a white backing. Like that particular ad, that ad and the concept and shit.
Yeah, no,
that ad, and it's and I know it didn't like niggas wasn't behind it because it's
No, I agree.
It plays repetitively between TikToks.
Yeah, nah. McDonald's, Target, Walmart, those like ads from
my
their,
baby
like,
daddy,
nigga,
you know what I'm saying? Like he's like this, like nah.
From the nigga division of their like marketing department are always so fucking wild. Like, run up a check at TJ Maxx. Like, oh my god, bitch, stop, turn this off. Like, this is I'm not buying from y'all. This is really fucking weird. But every department has that. Like every company has a like nigga department. Netflix has it. They have a whole YouTube channel called like Strong Black Lead, which is them marketing stuff specifically to black people. And it's like
Hulu has the same thing. Yeah, it's awkward, it's gross. It looks crazy. Like you can tell like they might have had like a couple black people in the room or maybe some niggas who are a little bit removed by a generation or two. I don't know, but like it just doesn't feel organic.
Don't feel right.
It don't feel right, don't feel organic to the culture. Like nah. But Neil Brennan, Neil Brennan talked about that. Like white execs coming to him like to be a part of their nigga division. It's like you're the black people whisperer. Like you know what I'm saying?
Can you tell us how do we sell chicken nuggets to black people?
Chicken nuggets to the Negroes. Like you have you really understand the jive.
Is it about seasoning? Do we need to add paprika to the batter? What do we do?
Right.
We make a commercial.
All right, man.
With let's misplaced hip hop.
let's get into these DINKs.
Okay, let's get into the DINKs.
Do we have time for that?
We have we got like 10. We got 10.
Okay. Too much beef.
We'll get into it. Let's do it.
A couple things. All right, man. So for one, I don't care for the term DINKs because that shit sounds like an insult, but it's dual income.
It does sound like a slur. Yeah, I don't mind it, but it does. Oh, really?
It sounds goofy as fuck.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, no, you're right. It sounds very like millennial white person. Like we're just a couple of dinks, but I don't think people use it to refer to. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just say, we're rich. You don't say, like, oh, we're dinks. You just say, we have money. Like, that's not... No one self-identifies as it. It's just like a descriptor. We're well off. People don't say they're dinks. They just go, oh, we're comfortable. That's all they say. You know what I'm saying? They just do that.
And I mean, hell, I don't even... That's not even like a synonym for being, like, well off, per se, or, like, rich, per se. It's just having two parents who work, who don't have children. Hey, that's middle class as fuck, or living paycheck to paycheck, because a lot of and
I feel like and maybe I'm talking about a specific kind of dink and things like that, but I feel like two people who work together and are employed and are adults and have made a conscientious decision together to not have kids ongoing, I think the likelihood that that couple is wealthier on average than other couples is very high.
Yeah.
Because even to have that conversation of we are conscientiously going childless, I think is a kind of a low-key privileged, not privileged, but it's like you're more likely to be educated, more likely to like have kind of thoughts about certain ideas, to have certain kind of jobs, that kind of shit. Not guaranteed, but just more likely.
And just the ability to conserve money between the two of you all
Oh,
versus
the results of not having to spend on a child,
Jesus,
and the extra time that you have available is like it's like a double exponential like boost on income.
Yeah.
If you go look, we're 2 adults, we've decided we're not having kids. So we're already, just as a couple, we're operating as a team that's making like decisions that are kind of low key culturally subversive. That already means the likelihood that we may be college educated, maybe white, maybe non-religious, all of those things are more likely. We're both probably working, because a couple that makes that decision probably doesn't have a house husband or a housewife. So we're both working 2 incomes. Well, that's part of the word. You can make sacrifices for your career that you wouldn't be able to if you had a kid, and you don't have to spend no money on a fucking kid.
right?
10 years of that shit, you got money. You're going to plays, you're going to shows, you're taking trips, you're traveling the world because fuck it, we want to. Like, it's a different type of money situation.
Yeah, absolutely. And then a freedom situation at the end of the day too. There's so many different factors that go into it, and that's one other reason why I didn't care for Candace Owens, because like in the clip that you shared, there was like Candace Owens just on some bullshit again.
Oh, what's she saying?
Basically, there was a clip of a girl explaining like why she didn't want children, and you know it was basically like the upward mobility, like the ease of just being able to pick up and leave and travel and do X, Y, and Z between your partner. And Candace Owens with her coon ass just come with some more bullshit negativity. It was like, oh my God, like she didn't actually list one of the real reasons. Like, bitch, yes, she did. Like, it's a lot easier to do everything that she said when you don't have children. It's a lot easier to move around and just think of and be selfish with your own time, with your own resources, when you don't have someone that you're obligated to spend those resources on. And not saying that you are not doing this out of the pure love of your heart for this person because you brought them into this world. But that's just a fact between people who have kids and people who don't. But
Ain't nothing, there's nothing selfish about that at all. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, depending on how you look at it. But yeah, I mean, but I don't know, bro. I don't know. I feel like growing up, I could always see myself like being a father, especially like knowing what I did have and knowing what I didn't have, and like bridging those gaps. And like I always like, yo, I would be a great dad. I'd be a dope father. But a couple years ago, I think it was because of a conversation I had with you, and you was like, yo, having kids is immoral. At first, I was like, nigga, what? And I was like,
First they laugh at you, and then
first they laugh. At first they said it was eugenics.
Yeah. They said I was mad.
They said I was crazy.
Now they're all dead.
But like the more that I thought about that shit, just like in my own life and like the ways that I've suffered and the shit that I've gone through, were just the things that I understand about life and people. Like, I don't know if I really want to bring a child into this world and like put them through that. I don't, and it's crazy. But and then even more, the thing that makes that even more potent or palpable for me is it's not like I've had a bad childhood or I had like some terrible abusive upbringing or some shit like that. But I have still suffered so much like with mental health and like all this other shit. And I don't want to put that on to bring my child into this world where they'll know suffering. And you know, not all kids do, but I can't guarantee that. I can't protect them from that
to some extent.
Yeah, we all to live is to suffer.
Yeah.
In some way, shape, or form.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Hey,
and
they said I was mad, but that's literally my whole point. Yeah.
Yeah, and I can't protect them from all that.
No, at some point you won't even be around.
Exactly. I mean, shit, and yeah, that's a whole other thing. But yeah, like you might not even be around, and like even just you not being around is going to cause them to suffer.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know, bro. I'm kind of more along the line of the dink situation, but I could see myself maybe, you know, under the right circumstances, the right situation with somebody, blah blah blah. Oh, hell, I might just fuck up one day and might have a kid. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can definitely understand the appeal. I'm probably moving more along the lines of like a dink situation where me and my woman have all the time in the world to really like love on each other, get to know each other without having to focus all of our attention on something outside of us. But once again, if I do have a kid, I don't want to in future child. If you're ever seeing this and I have you, I love you.
Yeah.
You're not a problem. So
You're nor a mistake.
You're not a problem nor a mistake. I love you. I promise you.
Yes.
But I can just
Hey,
I can
guys.
understand how that works
Yeah.
when you don't have this extra thing outside of your own situation. Like you said, like there's so many benefits that could befall a
Just
couple.
time. The amount,
Time.
hours. Like Seth Rogen is talking about him and his partner. He said it made both of our careers, like, you just have time to make things and do shit and see shit and buy shit that's just totally fucking different, man.
Right.
And it is the moral element. Like you're not bothering a child with your shitty parenting, which most of us are terrible at parenting. Like let's not bullshit here. And you're not burdening yourself with having to take care of a fucking kid. You got time to do your career shit. You want to make a movie, like. The people who are living life and they're doing a pretty good job and they have a kid, subtract the fucking kid, you have time. You literally now have time to write like 3 books with the time that it took you to like just rear a child. If you just subtracted that, think about what you could do. You could have gotten a whole 2nd degree. Could have started a business, you know?
You sound like one of them internet niggas. Like, yo,
you
think
gotta
about
hustle.
what you could be doing
You
with your
gotta
time.
hustle,
One of them hustle
all right?
culture niggas.
You could have started. You could have started selling
you could have had
baseball
$3 million.
cards by now. It's called
Right.
called compound interest. All right.
Exactly.
You should have gotten rid of the kid, get an abortion, and the knock-on impacts of that. If you get an abortion today, within 10 years you'll be a millionaire. Everybody knows that.
Within 10
Start
years,
today.
Guaranteed, nigga.
This
But
abortion
I
is the
will-
first abortion of the rest of your life. Get it, sister.
Do that for yourself right now. That's the next stimulus check.
Somebody
But,
listening to this podcast is like looking at the pee stick in their bathroom trying to figure out what to do.
Oh my God.
And they're
Yo,
like,
that would be so insane if they had like us playing in the air while they looking at the stick. Eddie's right.
get that abortion, girl.
Get that
You know
abortion,
what?
girl.
I'm
This
going to
is your
live the rest of
sign
my life.
to get
This
that
is the-
abortion.
See, if you're listening to this podcast, this is your lesson. Scoop it out.
No.
Scoop that thing.
Jesus, no. But I will say this.
Scoop
like,
that thing
on
up,
the opposite
turn it
side
and
of
reverse
that-
it.
On the opposite side of that, at least for me personally, having a kid would force me to get,
Your shit
force
together.
me to focus and really force me to get my shit together, or force me to actually live for something, have something to live for, like a direct reason. Because if it's just
Yeah.
you got to find that shit if you don't already have it.
True. I think I agree, but I think the impact of that on a child is
Yeah.
bad, like real bad. Because even
Yeah.
like the other thing is like I agree having an emergency, which a child is, but an emergency could be like if you lost if a person loses their job, if a person loses their house, if a person gets like severely injured, even a person who's in like a state of depression, sometimes that emergency situations can kind of knock you out of that because you have to act in that moment. You're not in a place of like, oh, cool, this is what I'm doing. You're like, oh, fuck, somebody's like a person who's depressed, who like is kind of not enjoying life, but they get mugged. Their fight or flight is still going to activate. We're in a survival situation. I think the issue though is, even though that's true, getting your shit together don't mean you get it all the way together. It just means you get it enough together to where you can kind of get through whatever the situation is. So I think people who get their shit together for a child doesn't necessarily mean they get it all the way to together enough that they're doing a decent job. They're still stressed the fuck out. They're still tired as hell. Kids still fucked up. Kids still not getting raised well. But they are, the kid's just not dying. So they've kind of figured some shit out. But it ain't together enough to really justify the whole project.
I've seen plenty of people get their life together and like
okay.
maintain it, like, and elevate their shit. Like they literally elevate themselves and become a better
From the
version
kid.
of themselves that they needed to do everything at there's steps. Everything ain't
It
built
didn't happen overnight, yeah.
Maybe the mental health shit, breaking all the generational curses, that shit takes a little bit of time, but overall it's like from what they were doing before, wow, the child was really what you needed.
Wow, damn.
You were gonna kill yourself.
You getting to sleep on time, you getting up in the morning, this nigga's cooking breakfast. That's crazy. This motherfucker's chopping bell peppers up and shit.
You're not contracting random STDs anymore. Okay, good deal.
Yeah. Or administering them. That's great. No cooties for anybody,
Indeed. No cooties.
That is a fact earlier, what we were saying. That is a fact that like not cooties, but well, I guess if cooties, if you want to use that as a metaphor for STDs,
Yeah.
niggas be the ones spreading them a lot. Man, that's a fact. Well, I think that's the pod, folks. I think that's the pod. Let's call this bad boy to a close. You know what I'm saying? This been Eddie. This been Josh. If you out here spreading STDs, getting people pregnant that you know you ain't finna be around for, you might be waving a red flag. But at the same time, if I don't know, if you goddamn help me out here.
Wait a minute. Okay. What you said before?
It's the one where we got to do the one where it's like you might be seeing a red flag.
Normally, okay.
Yeah, but I reversed it. I do it backwards sometimes
because
you know.
Fucked yourself up.
I did because I did it in the wrong direction. So what might they be seeing a red flag for?
Okay, if you out here dating a man who has 7 baby mamas, you might be seeing a red flag.
You might be seeing a few.
Also,
shout out R.I.P. Lance Riddick. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. R.I.P.
Shout out to a GOAT. Fringe was amazing. The John Wick series, legendary.
Oh, yeah.
I'm rewatching Fringe this month. Excellent in that shit. Hop on Patreon if you want to see us live. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on the bell. Fucking do all that shit. Cop the merch. We got more stuff coming out soon. Cop the sweatshirt. Cop the hoodie. Cop the t-shirt. Cop the feminine gender femme shirt. Do we have lady shirts? Do we have like femme shirts? Yeah.
Yeah, we
Cop
got
those,
regular
you know
t-shirts. We got unisex t-shirts, women's t-shirts. Everything is unisex, but yes, we have all that.
Yeah, I mean a t-shirt is pretty hard to like. Anybody can get into a t-shirt. It's kind of hard to be like, only niggas can wear this t-shirt. Anybody can hop in that thing. Well, there are some shirts that only.
And then, but I mean, also like because there's men's t-shirts, but also like women love men's t-shirts because it's just like you know, like a nightgown or like a nightshirt that they wear.
It's nice. It's a good look. Yeah, it's a good look.
Absolutely. I mean, oh my god, I love them in it.
Which only women can kind of pull off in terms of traditional gender expression. A nigga in the Winnie the Pooh fit does not look.
Yeah,
you know
not good at all. No,
even
that's
even if the dick is hanging out, it still looks crazy. Like
cool.
even if you can that just looks silly.
That's awful. Like you got your bottom ass cheek hanging out with the tip of your penis, just like that's you can't do nothing with that.
Yeah,
that is awful.
Is this shit on the floor? It's definitely giving like change my diaper type vibes
on the floor. Yo. The amount of times I've had to hold back my laughter during this podcast when I just randomly thought about she kept calling me a rude boy. And the chaos that ensued after that was just it's crazy.
Oh, man.
There's times when I'm just going like...
we should release that track. Hop on Patreon if y'all want to hear the full track. All right. Peace, everybody. Peace. Yeah.
It's a red flag.